wow, I don't want that experience to be true for other people, right? I'm a black man in this country. I worked really hard, and yet my experience was like off. And so what I did was I decided to take my talent and take myself back into the classroom and become a teacher. Our biggest companies, and we teach them the software engineer, the digital marketing, the data science, those careers that are going to be really lofty and really important in the next 10 years. We sell a really fabulous product, right? We sell a product that is changing people's lives, that is making companies more diverse. More diversity brings more energy, more creativity, more all of the things, right? Our coaches make the magic happen. They do not do the work for their apprentices, but they unlock the potential in themselves, right? So that they can order at the end of the day, bring this experience of an apprenticeship to life as a career.
Hi all, good morning. So today I have Korey with us, who is a wizard when it comes to resume steps and LinkedIn profile building. He's always looking for high-performing, mission-driven, change-making D&I advocates. He's on a mission to make the world more equitable and have done so many mission-driven and has done so many things when it comes to making the world a more better, a more equal place. Let's welcome Korey on 10 Minutes of Hiring Wisdom, where he will tell us about what it takes to make the world more equal, what are some of the missions and projects that he's worked on, and what we can learn from his learnings. Hi, Korey. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Manal. How are you?
Good, Korey. So, Korey, love the fact that you're making the world more equal. I think if all of us strive towards that, the world would definitely be an equal place. So, Korey, what have you done so far when it comes to making the world more equal on your end?
Yeah, so my experience it started in education. And so I was someone that did extremely well in school, all the way up through high school. And I went to a really hard college and just really struggled. And I was confused, and I was like, well, I was getting top grades this whole time. What happened? Why am I struggling? And realized many people in my college went to really more advanced high schools, right? And so my mission first was, wow, I don't want that experience to be true for other people, right? I'm a black man in this country. I worked really hard, and yet my experience was like off. And so what I did was I decided to take my talent and take myself back into the classroom and become a teacher. So my way of making the world more equitable was to really work hard to ensure that students who are underserved, particularly African American, Hispanic students, they had a super solid math and science education that was super important to me. For 10 years, as both a teacher and a school leader, I spent my time and energy making sure that students had adequate preparation in math and science, such that when they got to their college, if they wanted to pursue that pathway, they felt really strong and really confident. And honestly, in the 10 years, I've sent several students to really good schools and had much better experiences than me. So that felt really good. And then I got to that 10-year mark and thought, well, I can do this for a very long time. And I felt really passionate. I still am really passionate. But I wanted to think about what other ways can I contribute to the world and society in a way that's different, right? To challenge myself and to continue to, as you said, make the world a better place. So that led me to where I am now. I work for our ed tech startup, Multiverse, which has an awesome mission, which is really focused on not college is a really great opportunity for a lot of people, and it's not the only way for people to advance their careers and do something, right? And so, what we do with students, or not students, young adults who are not college, we don't have college degrees, and we find them apprenticeships at some of the world's leading firms. We take them to some of our biggest companies, and we teach them the software engineer, the digital marketing, the data science, those careers that are going to be really lofty and really important in the next 10 years. We get them placed there. They are not, there's no fee for them. They are paid and salary employees for that company. And then over the 12 to 15 months, we train and coach and mentor them such that they then at that apprenticeship can take on a full-time role. So to me, it was immediate. I have to work here. I have spent a lot of time really making sure that students were really invested in college were successful in that. And so now I get to work for an organization that is filling the gap for everyone else that they didn't serve it. Right. And so to me, it's all about making sure that people who are underrepresented, people who haven't had these opportunities are prepared in the best way possible, whether that's me working through schools, or there's me working through nonprofits, or like I am right now, a private company, really focus on equity, really focus on an opportunity to diversify right now the tech and talent pool in tech. But that does not extend, and I'm sure I'll be doing this for a very long time, but it's always going to be grounded in who deserves an opportunity and how can I really make sure that I can use my privilege, my opportunities, my learnings, my lessons to ensure we push that agenda.
Wow. First of all, kudos to you. I think a lot of people do not own up to their identity. You owned up to your identity as a black man in the US, decided to make a difference in so many people's lives. And I'm pretty sure the students that you taught initially during their high school, giving them a strong foundation so that they could succeed in their future careers. I'm still sure that they remember you with good words just because the impact that you must have made in their lives still lives throughout. So it's absolutely inspiring. It's absolutely amazing the work that you've done. And I can see how passionate you are about DNI, specifically because I think a lot of companies do say that, oh, we're all about DNI. But when it comes to actually implementing their strategies, actually, when you see their workforce, it's just mostly white people. So you're like, okay, I understand you're big on diversity, but where do you go from there? So absolutely amazing. I'm super inspired, which would lead me to my next question, Korey, which is what are some of the strategies that your company deploys specifically to understand, okay, these are the minorities that you want to work with and you want to represent them and presenting them with good opportunities?
Yeah. I think the level that question is very layered, and so there's a number of ways that
Yeah.
we do this because the whole point of my company is again
Yeah.
to diversify the talent
Yeah.
pipeline. So first, I think we look at what roles do we in our company need, right? How many software engineers do we need to tackle our new challenges? How many data scientists do we need to tackle our challenges, right? Then we think about, okay, and what is the landscape of that field? Again, as we might recognize, software engineer is heavily male, right? It's heavily maybe white and Southeast Asian male, right? And so we think about, okay, if we are saying to the world, we can do this, we can hire diversely, we have to understand that if we need 10 software engineers, we make sure that like as applicants come through the process, when we hire, that the hiring pool represents the target demographic that we're looking for, right? And so if we say we need 10, right, we want to make sure that talent pipeline is 5 female, 5 male, right? We do not move forward until we ensure that the diversity that we want to see in our company is the diversity of the candidate pool that we kind of observe. I think second, um, what we really do to get our apprentices, so these are the people that are coming through our programs, we really ensure that we're working with both national and local organizations. Our strategy so far has been that we operate out of 6 centers of excellence as the start, right? And these are areas that we have employees that work there. We double down on local communities like the Boys and Girls Clubs, local schools, um, people who might have a demographic, have a population of individuals who are 18 to 26-year-old who might benefit from what Multiverse is offering, and really advertise and really make sure that we build up community and do all of those things to ensure that people who are eligible understand this opportunity and can do it, right? Because it's for them. It's for them to really have this pathway that otherwise doesn't exist in this country, right? If you don't have an undergraduate degree, you are not going to be able to apply to some of the companies we work at, Verizon, Amex, ClassPass, right? Some of these really big companies. And so we're making that claim that you don't need the degree. We will teach you the skills and content. And so I think this was some of the things. I think third, just to underline, like sort of align back to the first point that I made, we are very clear that we are, as a high performing, hyper growth company that's been very successful, we are not we in some spaces we are not the most diverse ourselves, and then we have a critical eye to that. So, for example, I'll be really transparent. Our senior leadership team, right, is fairly skewed towards female, which is excellent, and at the same time, it's very white, right? And so, how do we then think critically about this is not what we're saying we're doing for the world, right? We can't go to other companies and talk about this without ourselves being this true. So when that's the constant conversation, we put things in place, right? We put things in place like a leadership program internally to really support leaders who from diverse backgrounds who don't match what we currently have on our leadership team, right? To build a pathway. And that just is a small sample of the things that we do because, again, this is like number one on our radar. This is really important to us to get right here in-house as we also support other companies and bring in young fresh talent that may be diverse, something that they also in their normal processes are not going to be able to pull or admit into their businesses.
Well, I think it's one thing to be aware that you understand that, okay, we represent something, but it's being aware, okay, that, okay, we might have a team that is mostly female, it's mostly white, and making sure that you're taking steps actively to work on that because you can then actually represent what you're saying, which is absolutely amazing. And I just love what your company is doing just because it understands that there's a gap in between between the world where people are not being given equal opportunities just because of where they come from, and it's taking a step to bridge that gap. So definitely inspired, definitely in shock just because I didn't read about your company, but when you actually explain the different layers to it, I can actually see how it's implementing those different missions and values that it's on a mission to do so. Thank you so much for sharing that, Korey. Korey, last question. Your company recently received their Series C funding. Congratulations on that, just by the way. So would love to understand what are some of the roles that you're actively hiring for, and what are some of the key characteristics you look for in candidates when you're actually scouting for different candidates?
Yeah. So the thing about us is that we are growing very, very fast. And so if you're interested in Multiverse, which you should be, right, you're going to constantly our openings, because that kind of literally changes on a weekly basis. We always have new roles being opened. There are two categories of roles that are evergreen, right? Always hiring for. They are the hallmarks of our company. The first is our go-to-market team. And so thinking about account executives and our sales team. We sell a really fabulous product, right? We sell a product that is changing people's lives, that is making companies more diverse, more diversity brings more energy, more creativity, more all of the things, right? So we really think through how we bring in account executives who understand not only this golden product, but can sell it in a way that is going to be reaching the ears of some of the biggest companies in the world to build this opportunity out for as many apprentices as possible. So I say that is a huge thing if you're a salesperson that wants a mission while also being able to make a no. Pretty good financial incentives there. This is it. The second, and I argue probably the most important role at our company, are our coaches. Our coaches make the magic happen. They do not do the work for their apprentices, but they unlock the potential in themselves, right? So that they can order at the end of the day, bring this experience of an apprenticeship to life as a career. So our coaches, we have programs across, like I mentioned some before, but digital marketing, software engineering, data analytics, business transformation. Like we have a lot of space for coaches who have the heart and the heart to really be able to bring our apprentices' experiences to life. So we are always hiring coaches. We love coaches and coaches come from two places. They come from former educators themselves, people who have been in the classroom and know how to engage in content, but also know a little bit about business and things. We also have people who are industry professionals, who are people who have been in the fields for a long time, but have a deep passion for mentorship. So coaches are also we always hire coaches, and they're the bread and butter of our organization. There's a lot of support there.
Okay, well, Korey, you did wonderful, just by the way. Thank you so much for coming on the show, for sharing about your passion. I think the way you represent your company, the way you speak about D&I, it definitely reflects through. It doesn't just seem like words, but it actually showcases that you're actually a very caring individual who wants to do his part in the world and make a difference. It's people like you who can make the world a better place, and I hope and pray that we can get more inspiring individuals like you who can make a difference in this world.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to talk to you today.